How can you strengthen your intuition through your connection with God? Hello, and welcome to Titanium Talar's Tarot, and tonight I will be doing another insight, alright? All the ways you can connect more by strengthening your connection to God. So, that sounds pretty straightforward, right? It does. So, the first and main thing would be to read your religious texts or your spiritual texts, right? Next one is to go to church or to go to holy sites and to commune with God. Like I was saying, go read your religious texts or go to religious institutions, talk to religious individuals, rabbis, priests, pastors, or imams. I'm mentioning them in the order in which they came to be on the planet, right? There are maybe shamans, I don't know, maybe you have that. You believe in that more. Whatever you believe in more is what you should be going and consulting. Now, those are the main pillars you want to do. I'm sure there are others, and the reason why I'm talking about your connection to your intuition through your connection to God, in my opinion, okay, you don't have to share it, but in my opinion, God is the creator of everything, right? So, God, being the one who started it all, is going to be the one who oversees everything. So if you connect with God, God will actually connect you better to the knowledge. It's like, I think they named it The Matrix like the movie The Matrix, to make it seem a little more grid-like, right? Like a grid, like the universe is a grid, and actually I have no idea what I'm talking about. But like that everything in a way, okay, I get it now. So that everything in a way is interconnected, and through that interconnection you are able to tap into a higher source of knowledge. And that interconnection, in my mind, is the God particle that we all have within us, which I first read of in Dan Brown's books. Right? Now, I'm speculating. Maybe I should cut this bit out. But in my mind, God is everywhere. God permeates everything. And so when I read the God part in Dan Brown's books, the God particle, at least the Da Vinci Code, if I remember correctly, that really stuck with me. Now, I don't know if that's something Mr. Brown made up or not, but I would like to think that it actually exists. I don't know that much, so I can't really talk about this. But what I can say is it supports the idea that God is omnipresent more, right? That's just me. Although I don't know about all texts, but the main reason why these texts were written were to help man, like humanity, should I say, humanity to become closer to divinity. Okay, so there is something to be said for the usefulness of it. It's not perfect because it was written by people, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion. And all you need to do is extrapolate that thing that is irking you constantly. I know someone had difficulty with the Bible because the Bible doesn't really talk much of women, and it's very irking, knee-jerking, I could say, but I mean, it is what it is. And you take the gold nuggets out of it when you can, when you find them, and you disregard the rest. It would be kind of like the annoying, rude, self-centered uncle. We all have one, who is very proud and very loud. Right? But I digress. So, the reason why I talked about the uncle who's loud and proud is because they're like that individual, right? They're in the family, they annoy people, but you love them just the same because they're family, right? So it's the same idea with church. So you take it with a grain of salt. Of course, some things should not be taken with a grain of salt, should actually be implemented. But on another note, the things that kind of irk you would be a sign of what you need to work on, because the institution will not change and you can't make it change. It's been like that for centuries. It would be fighting a losing battle, literally. So what can you do is just take the good parts and leave the rest. You know, depending on how deep you go into this with God and whatnot, how deep you want to go and strengthen your relationship with God. And there's also something to be said for you listen to your needs, not the needs of others. Like, for example, alright, I changed churches. I did. I went from one church to another. Because I wasn't really feeling the one I was baptized in, it wasn't really doing it for me. So I'm like, okay, I need something that's more heart-centered, more where I feel more connected to God. Because the church where I was going at was apostolic, and in the apostolic church, it's more like we veneer, we idolize, and we just don't question. But I was like, I need to feel a connection with God. I need to feel like I'm connected. And that's why I went to a Protestant church. It's kind of weird. But the minute I walked into that church, I felt the connection. I'm like, this is where I should be. So, and that's the only reason why. Everything else, the things that I'm used to, the things that I have grown up with, and that they come awkward to me, or just like, that's a weird way of doing it. All that is something you learn, you digest slowly but surely, right? So it's a learning curve, as is anything new that you're going into. So in reality, what you need is to strengthen your connection to God. What are you going to do to strengthen your connection to your intuition through God? Let me know.